This episode of the Damage Guild podcast is sponsored by listeners like you. Join the guild at patreon.com/damageguild to receive exclusive perks, member rewards, and bonus content.
Previously on the Damage Guild podcast.
Get the crown to the King of Ormog, and he'll start to hopefully put it to, stronger use than we can.
You bid your farewell to Stripey and head off towards the castle to meet the king. You've located the crown of Altoria.
The very same.
We wish to bestow it upon you.
I will do you the honor and accept this crown.
Tokas, I think it's time. So I walk over to Shabba and hand him the letter.
Well, let me give this a little read here. Shabba, son of Pachaka, etc., etc., incessant wars, etc., etc.
Ravage this peaceful land, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. I trust I will see you during the coming fight. Flee and be smited. Let me go ahead and check in with High Priest Hallenheim.
You make ready to head to the M Bastion, but as you make your way to the front of the guildhall, you hear other guild members discussing the news. The Iron Fang tribe has assembled their army about a mile southwest of Nennept's walls.
No.
Whoa.
The southern districts have already been mostly evacuated inside the wall, but both gates are still flooded with traffic as the last townspeople scramble to safety.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Did you say the lower town has been evacuated?
Yeah, most of the southern districts.
Oh my goodness.
There's town walls, but that doesn't really encompass the full town. There's, the sprawling buildings all around outside it.
Outside of the walls, yeah.
So people have come into the wall.
So the southern sections of that have been withdrawn, and others from other parts outside are still coming in,
into the walls.
Into the wall?
Behind the walls.
Portion of the city? Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yikes.
Which is closer, the Aptivar Gate or the Bastion to where we are now?
The Aptivar Gate is the southern gate, and you'll be leaving from
the Guildhall.
Lower Castletown, I think, down into the Temple District is where the Bastion is, and then past that is Aptivar Gate. So it's kind of on the way. You have to go a little bit out of your way to the side.
All right. Let's head for the Aptivar Gate by way of the Bastion.
Agreed.
Stripey, let's do this. Gear up.
He slicks back his hair and puts on a top hat.
Mm-hmm.
Nope, wrong gear, Stripey.
Wrong uniform, Stripey.
Okay, so you arrive at the Bastion.
Yes.
Castle-like temple of Embastille.
I hail the first employee/priest that I see.
Yeah, you find some clergyman. Says, yes, what brings you to Embastille's temple?
Excuse me, good sir, and I lift him up by the collar. Is Holy Hallenheim in, perchance? I wish to seek counsel with him. And then I gently put him back down.
High Priest Hallenheim and his men have gone to the Aptivar Gate.
Thank you. Enough said. Goodbye. See you later. And we rush to the Aptivar Gate.
Drop him on the floor in a heap.
Yes. Just toss him away, and we go.
As you're outside traveling, you notice that there is a steady and strong western wind blowing in, filling the air with the smell of salt water, which, contrasting with what you've heard, it seems like it's, favorable sailing conditions, but wind must be especially strong to be able to smell the sea so clearly from this far inland.
That was our other theory, right? Was that the wand or the scepter must be close, and we might be able to track it down or find it.
Yeah, yep.
I wonder if the king's mages have any scrying magic that could help with that.
Possibly. Another thing I'm thinking about is why did it go from these horrible storms we were hearing about to all of a sudden, conveniently, it's really good sailing. And I wonder if the prevailing wind is for the orc warships.
Yeah, that's right. There's two possibilities. One, warships are coming from the sea, and two, maybe not even orcish, maybe there's some other army that's coming. And two, if they intend to set fire to the city, doesn't that then give the fire the correct direction to spread?
Oh, wow.
Yes, wind is very important for fire spreading.
Right.
If you're an arsonist, you probably know all about that.
Oh, yes, I do. I've set many buildings on fire. I mean, wait, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud.
Oh, that was Shabba.
Yes, Shabba has set
during Shabba's rebellious years.
Right.
Yeah. This is like Shabba in his teens.
I just set the village on fire several times just to watch it burn.
Trying to earn your fireman's chit in scouting.
Yeah. Right. So, yes, there's probably some ships/fire coming. let's continue and find Hallenheim.
So you arrive at Aptivar Gate, and you can see the whole area as you're pushing through the crowd to get towards the gate is just flooded with people. Hundreds, thousands of people just all through the streets, making their way farther into the city, trying to find places to settle down and unpack what little they managed to bring.
Goodness. Hallenheim! Holy Hallenheim, where are you?
Shabba ahead above the crowd, kind of scanning around for...
Yeah. For Hallenheim, who's also ahead above the crowd.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he shouldn't be hard to find. The guy looks so different from the average citizen. I'm not saying he's ugly, I'm just saying he's different.
And big.
Sure you are.
You scan the crowd and push your way through it till eventually you make it to the gate, and you see Hallenheim in his full plate armor with a shield of Embastille emblazoned on it.
His regalia.
He and his men stand ready, watching out towards the Orcish army camped off in the distance.
Holy Hallenheim! There you are.
You can actually see the smokes from the campfires rising from the army from here.
Oof.
Close.
Yikes.
Too close. Hallenheim, I received your letter. I'm here as instructed.
Shabba, it is good to see you have come. I knew we could trust you.
I'm ready to join the fight. With one caveat. Totally down for the whole fighting thing. Definitely into it. Super into it. However, we just met with the king. You may have heard of him. Ruler of these lands, etc., etc.
Shabba, we're supposed to be keeping that on the DL.
No, but here's the thing, though. The only way to supersede this calling from the Bastion is to mention that the king is, like, higher ranked. So we met, I'm not talking anything about the crown. I'm not saying anything about the crown right now. We met with the king. He gave us the directive to thwart the cult's advance.
We don't have to necessarily tell Hallenheim what the order was, do we?
Well, I'm saying I need an excuse to not be here.
Could we just tell Hallenheim? Can we walk away from the soldiers and just tell him?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's crowds everywhere. Like, I mean, there's not really like a... Is there a private place where we can speak alone?
Not really. Not at the moment.
Yeah. So, basically, we talked to the king, and he thinks that we might be the ones, like the chosen ones, if you get what I'm saying. And I understand Embastille has chosen us too. That's cool. Totally dig it. Down with it. But he thinks that maybe we should go to the cult's headquarters and try to cut the head off the snake. And or try to steal back one of the mystical relics of Altoria that they may have around these parts.
Yeah, I just realized something. If the cult is the ones egging on and equipping the Orcish hordes to do this siege, they're in on this. In other words, they're not going to expect a frontal assault during the assault on Ormog.
True.
So we've been given a different mission, Hallenheim, and we're sorry, but we've got to go.
Yeah, so I'm here to seek your advice and your counsel about this whole thing. I really just want to know what you want me to do, because I'm here, I'm completely willing to fight, but the king has told me something different.
No man, not even a king, can supersede the will of Embastille. However, your cause is just, and your mission coincides with mine. That is, to save Nennept and Ormog, and fight back the cult and the orcs. I would appreciate it if you could stay by my side and fight along with my men, but should your conscience call you elsewhere, I would understand.
Well, in that case, I will most likely be, going. Not that I want to. I'm not a coward. I understand the gravity of the situation. I understand that you need all the help you can get. You need every able-bodied individual to help. But as I say, maybe we can just do some good by being elsewhere in a place that we have the potential to cripple the cult even further.
I mean, unless the orcs are, like, about to attack right now, then we could just stay and fight.
Yeah, I mean, if they're bringing it, like, right this moment, sure, yeah, let's hang around and get a few kills in, I suppose.
Well, the army makes ready, but there's no telling when they will strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, what did you guys think about my logic there? Like, if the cult is egging on the orc horde and orchestrating this combat, this could be a really good time to try to hit the headquarters.
Yeah, that's true. It's just a question of how long it takes us to get there.
Right.
Well, he gave us 10 plats. We could hit the teleportation circle.
Yeah, I don't know what... Do we have any remembrance? Do we have to make checks to see if we remember what the closest teleportation station would have been to the Emdrin Caldera?
Like, we could relay our plans to Tafe. We could say, hey, we want to hit them while they're doing this other campaign. And maybe, and call me crazy, what if we split the Sapphire Sabers' efforts?
Yeah. No,
like, we send the most elite to go assassinate the... Well, we're not saying this in public. We should talk about this elsewhere.
But, yeah, no, I get where you're going with that. Now, the question is, do we have the luxury of strolling down that old dusty trail toward this volcano while the city lies under siege? Like, is that something we can afford to take the time to do? If we can't get somewhere within the vicinity of that volcano very quickly, I don't think we're going to make it in time to really have an effect on this battle. And the king has already said that teleportation of that distance
is dangerous.
Is not feasible.
The thing of it is, the cult's not just going to strike with a horde of orcs. The horde of orcs is the cloaking with which they can do what they actually want to do to the city. So, like, even if we don't get there today, right? Let's say we tell Tafe this is what we're doing. We teleport, and even if it's a day or two's journey, those cultists aren't back and rested and ready. They're still trying to do what they're trying to do to the castle. We should trust in the king's defenses. We should trust in Embastille or whatever Hallenheim believes in, and we should do what the king told us to do.
Okay, great point. We have a spyglass, don't we?
Yes, we do now.
Give it to me.
I give Shabba the spyglass.
I walk up the stairs of the wall above the gate, the closest staircase, and I extend the spyglass and I scan the enemy lines, and I look specifically for whether their ranks are made entirely of orcs or whether there are any cloaked or other racially oriented individuals amongst them.
From what you can see at this distance, there's a good number of tents, and who knows what could be inside those. But from those you can see outside, it seems to be entirely orcs or wargs and similar beasts. They also have, you note, a large battering ram, it looks like, that's set up on like something that would allow it to roll towards the gate and it'd be used there.
Like a rolling frame with chains.
Yeah.
Grand.
Maybe we should stay at least to sabotage their battering ram.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
That would be fun. So I come back down off of the wall. So their ranks are made up entirely of non-cultists, from what I can tell. So I think, Tokas, you touched on something that may be correct, but maybe not in the way that we're thinking. So maybe the cultists' actual concentration of their forces are what has been causing the unrest within the city, rather than them actually having a bunch of cultists out on the battlefield ready to invade. So you may be right in that they have removed some of their force or their power from the caldera, but I don't necessarily think that they've sent an army. At least we won't know until we see whether there's any ships that come.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a diversion of sorts, and whatever the cult has cooked up, they're going to forward their plan one more notch. Is the notch a more successful assassination attempt on the king? Is the notch taking down the Sapphire Saber, which is really the biggest threat to them within the city? I don't know what the notch is, Shabba, but I think that this is cover for them to do something else, and right. I think that we should run we should do an audible and try to circumvent what they're doing, not necessarily like, in other words, like, we could maybe, take out the battering ram or something and then try to figure out, okay, what are they actually trying to do? It could just be the orc siege, in which we'll help out. But I'm convinced something else is going on here. I'm not necessarily saying that we teleport. I'm just saying that let's not look at it at face value. I think there's a different objective, right? I mean, think about it. This is a win-win for the cult. If the orc army wins and conquers the city, they win. If the orc army doesn't conquer the city but ties up a lot of our resources, the guild, the Hallenheim's troop, maybe even some of the castle guard itself. If it ties up, 50% or more of the able-bodied soldiers, guardsmen in the city, that's 50% less. I think they're going after the king, the more I think about it.
Yeah, so the question remains, knowing what we know now, how can we be most effective? Is it going after the battering ram, trying to sabotage it? Is it using some high-level mages to try to locate the scepter and going after that? Or is it, can we get to the caldera in a timely fashion in order to somehow affect this battle from there?
Yeah, to answer that third one, I would think that if we do end up teleporting somewhere closer, that we will inevitably get there faster than the cult would be able to return. So, like, staying and fighting even if the battle takes another day or two, and then we go and teleport to get closer. Either way, we probably get there faster than they do.
I think we should take these thoughts to the guild somehow. I think we need to talk with Tafe.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just had an idea. I was thinking through our list of gear, if there's something we could possibly lend to Hallenheim's efforts, and guess what I thought of, guys? You're going to love this. I think this one item could turn the tide without us needing to be here.
A ship?
Our most powerful magical item.
My bow?
No, Shabba.
Your gauntlets?
No.
The bracer?
No. Actually, maybe. No, he would have to attune to it. No, not the bracer. We need the bracer for what we're doing. I think we lend Hallenheim the Wand of Web. I think it's really good for battlefield control, clusters of orcs, and then they're just going to get ripped apart with a slew of arrows.
That's true. That's not a bad idea.
Like, that's 6 webs. 6. They could web the battering ram a bunch.
Yeah, that's really good. That would be really good against an army that's approaching.
Like a cluster, yeah, like they're gonna orcs operate in packs, right? Okay, but the wargs not so much. Like the warg riders, they're probably not gonna be affected by the Wand of Web. But dude, they could like web all sorts of stuff.
But if you hit a bunch of groups of them at the front lines, then everybody else behind them has to go around them. Yeah, that could be really effective.
Yeah, why don't we lend Hallenheim the wand and be like, here's how you use it, but don't use it because every charge matters, but here's how you would use it.
But will we need it, though?
No, I don't think we need it. I think they could really benefit from that item, and then we go do what we think we need to do after we coordinate.
You don't think we'll need it if we go to attack a bunch of cultists?
No, I don't think it's going to be hordes. I think it's going to be like one-on-one or like their elites against us. It's going to be like, like an epic, lightsaber duel to the death kind of combat, right? So
right.
I think the Wand of Web is, if we were to lend one thing to Hallenheim, it's got to be the Wand of Web. I feel like I've oversold it.
Yeah, I mean, you make a great point. You make a great case for how good it would be on the battlefield. However, if we were to give 0 things to Hallenheim, one of them would not have to be the Wand of Web, so there's that.
That's true.
Well, why don't we put it to a vote? I'll even let Stripey vote on this one.
I vote we go talk to Tafe first and decide what we're actually going to do before we give anything to anybody.
Here's my thinking. The caldera is a long way away. It would take a long time to get there, or teleporting or whatever. We have reason to believe that the scepter is here in the city, and we have the orcs attacking the city. Let's do what we can here before we spend a bunch of time traveling somewhere else.
And a bunch of money.
Yes, exactly. Let's start looking for the scepter, whatever that looks like. Whenever the orcs attack, we'll still be in the city to help defend it. And then afterwards, then we can go south.
Well, yeah, we need to get an approximate time frame here to the caldera. What's that going to take? How long is it going to take? And then because once we go, we're gone, right? So you're correct. We can no longer affect things from here. So is there something we can accomplish here before we do that?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, the battering ram, the scepter, protecting the king, because this is a great opportunity to assassinate him.
Yeah. So I grab Hallenheim, I squeeze him, I hold him close, and I whisper in his ear, "Good luck out there, my friend. May Embastille be upon your shoulders, much like Kavaki is, guiding you and pushing you forward and seeing victory in the battle to come."
But a little bit more like a piggyback ride.
Yeah, but more like...
he's on your shoulders.
Yes. May Embastille be as powerful one day as Kavaki has been for eternity. Good luck, my friend. and farewell.
I bid you good luck as well. May Investil's protection be upon you.
Thank you. And Kavaki's protection be upon you. Goodbye.
Then we disappear into the night.
And then Azlo casts invisibility, and we go...
In the morning.
Into the morning, yes.
We disappear into the morning mists.
Just out of curiosity, do we have any kind of rough guess as to the number of orcs in this army? Either from what we can gather from Hallenheim or using the spyglass.
If it were my son estimating, he would say 100 and a million, probably.
You would estimate somewhere in the range of maybe like 5,000 to 8,000.
Ooh.
When the whole population of Nennept is 54,000, but that counts, children and women.
Yeah, that
Wow.
is a massive army.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. Just curious. Do we go to TAFE next?
TAFE, yeah. We TAFE it up.
We strafe over to TAFE.
The city is, or the town is decently large, so it takes a good amount of time to travel between locations. So you kind of need to make sure that you know where you're going when time is potentially of the essence. So it's late morning by the time you make it back to the guildhall, and you manage to scrounge up someone who can get you a meeting with TAFE. You get inside his office and start talking. What news have you for me?
Well, we met with the king. He's awesome as usual, just as great as he always was. Wonderful guy. Really like what he does and how he does things.
Pardon me, but we do not have time for pleasantries.
Please get to the point.
Super impressed with the king. We went to talk to the guards at the gate, and anyway, neither here nor there.
What my friend here is trying to say is that we have met with the king, and I look around to make sure no one else is listening. I say we gave him the crown. So it is safe in his possession now, and he has ordered us, or at least mildly suggested to us, that we go and assault the cult at their home base, hit them where it hurts, and we are coming to you to ask a little bit of advice as well. Because we have reason to believe that the scepter, one of the other powerful relics of Altoria, might be here in this very city. So, we are trying to decide whether to look for it, and if so, if there are resources available that we can use to track it down.
I just realized, Brian, you just reminded me of something really important. The king gave us a mission. Like, if we're on the battlefield and somebody witnesses us, like, we're not doing what he would have had us to do.
But I think it really was more of a suggestion. It wasn't like, I need you to go do this. It was, you could consider doing this, as I heard it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did he have the maybe language in it?
Yeah, for sure.
He sort of did, yeah.
Okay. All right. So we won't get in trouble if they're witnesses.
No, he wasn't like, I hereby commission you to go to the Emdrin Caldera and, strike at the heart of the cult. He said, like, you might be able to do something good there by going. So the long and the short of it is we need to find out how long it's going to take us to get to the Emdrin Caldera.
The closest that the guild mages would be able to get you safely would be to the small lake about 2 weeks north of the caldera.
Ah, beautiful lake, I hear this time of year. How far north of the caldera?
It's about 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
What if we could secure horses?
If you were able to secure horses and drive them till death, then perhaps that would shorten your time.
I mean, we have horses. Like, what's the difference in that walking versus riding?
Realistically, walking and riding are the same speed normally, but if you really drive your horses to the point of exhaustion, then you could go faster. Probably like 50%. Maybe even double speed overall.
So they teleport us to the lake, and then we travel 2 weeks to the caldera.
Or less if we have horses to drive.
Sure, but still.
Yeah.
Dead.
Maybe like a week and a half still.
Yeah. That is a long time. That is a long...
Yep.
With 8,000 orcs bearing down on you.
So we're not able to strike at the caldera at the same time that this siege is happening.
Correct.
It's just not an option.
I think we stay here.
I think it further confirms that line of action.
Yeah. The king is not wrong about much, but he seems wrong about this.
The prevailing wind that we felt, was it like blowing orc side towards the city?
It was coming from the west, from the bay.
From the west.
From the bay, yeah.
From Tempest Torn.
From the bay. So that would help ships docking,
Yep.
like
Correct.
coming to the
Definitely.
city. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I feel like that's a hint.
Yeah, did you say it's like that doesn't happen basically normally?
It felt particularly strong and smooth. Like, if it were this strong, normally then it would be like a storm.
Or like gusty, like coming and going.
Yeah,
but this is like
it felt like a good, strong, steady wind coming from the west.
just a steady wind.
It's like artificially good sailing weather to dock to Ormog.
Exactly.
From a particular direction.
Now, Tafe, I know most of our defenses are concentrated on the southern side of the city. How are we looking to the west?
We have ships there, but we were never a warring nation, so we have few warships.
My friend Tokas here has a theory that I am inclined to heed, which is that these winds we've been getting out of the west are carrying a fleet of ships. So if you have any say over how the defenses are arranged, we need to make sure that the west is well shored up. No pun intended.
Shore up the shore.
Yes. Actually, yes, pun intended. I'm gonna claim credit for that one.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about it. We know that they have the magical weather-changing scepter, so, like, what you guys were thinking earlier was really logical, which is that the scepter would help, like, spread fire. But it sounds like they're using the scepter perhaps to help a fleet come, right? Because, like, here's the other thing. If they weren't planning to set fire, and if they weren't planning to bring in a fleet of ships, wouldn't they choose a different mode for the weather scepter?
Totes.
Like, wouldn't it be, like, a horrible thunderstorm or something to cause, like, chaos?
Or like a fog or darkness or something, like heavy cloud cover, because don't orcs have dark vision?
Yeah.
So they could thereby blind all the humans but still be able to see. That would be...
Right, and we don't know a lot about how the scepter operates. Like, we don't know if it takes time to ramp up or if it's like an instantaneous power. I don't know how quickly it changes weather, right? But it seems like that this is going to be the weather for today. So I'm suspicious of that.
Agreed. Same here. So, Tafe, you said the guild's mages could teleport us to within 2 weeks of the caldera. Let's shift gears here. Do the mages have the capability to locate an object nearby?
It is among our capabilities, but it would be highly unreliable unless it were very close.
Okay. Like, say,
how close are we
somewhere
talking?
in the city. Because if you can use this scepter and control the weather across the world, then I want it even more.
Are we trading out of one artifact for another?
For another, yeah.
Yep.
So the simplest spell that we have that could do this has only a range of 1,000 feet, which means we would need to have many castings throughout the city to have a chance of, or have a good chance of locating it if it's inside.
Yeah, we're not really looking for simple here. We're looking for powerful. We're looking for high level. We're looking for potent. One might describe the spell that we need as. We're trying to pinpoint or at least get a general vicinity on this item.
Do you have someone who could make a wish, for example?
Yeah.
We have no one capable of that level of magic.
What was the spell that we were hoping the king would wear, attune the crown, and have enough followers to cast?
What spells did the crown even have?
Oh,
yeah.
It had spells.
Yeah, there was a particular spell that we were talking about that if, the king were to use the crown, he would have had access to, probably. But what was it?
Yeah, now that we've not had it for such a long time, I find the memory of the crown is faded.
Yeah, almost everything from the crown is like charisma-oriented. Charming, commanding, that kind of thing. But otherwise, it's like detect thoughts, divination.
Divination was the one, wasn't it?
Maybe that's the one.
And then we were going to ask a question, right?
Yeah, with the divination, it seems to be probably the best spell that they could feasibly cast.
Then that's what we're going to have them do. Let's divination ourselves. Let's dowsing rod ourselves to that there weather rod.
Yeah, let's div it up.
A weather rod would be really cool. I mean, imagine if we had a weather rod when we're going to assault the volcano stronghold.
We could have it cast, make the volcano active again.
Maybe, if that's something it's able to control. I do wonder if it's able to do things like earthquakes and other, like, less common
like
place
seismic
types of weather. Yeah. If so, though, wouldn't they have just used that on just like earthquake the city?
Yeah, just make the city cave in.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Probably not quite that powerful.
It probably can't do that. Yeah. But, like, what about, like, a hurricane or a typhoon that just, like, throws the ships at the city or something crazy,
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, so you did discuss the divination spell last time, and you were going to have someone else cast it for you, basically. Have them ask worthwhile question.
But what was that question?
We have some priests who should be able to ask and give us some answers. It's unlikely to be very specific as far as pinpointing a location, because that's not how the spell or how the gods work, but perhaps it would be useful. So I can have them do that now if you want.
Yes, please. So what are the limitations of the spell divination?
You ask a single question concerning a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within 7 days. The DM offers a truthful reply. The reply might be a short phrase, a cryptic rhyme, or an omen.
Locate object is the only spell that specifically does exactly what you want, but it's only 1,000-foot range. Everything else is a lot more vague.
Well, could we use divination to help us estimate where to use locate object? What part of the city to use locate object in?
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
Or give us a best guess, help us zero in on, okay, maybe it's in the castle region, maybe it very well could be at the docks, because that's what the weather's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we knew more about the scepter, if it
How about, why don't we ask, will the scepter of Altoria be within a mile of the city within the next 7 days?
See, that's just a yes or no. That could be done with an augury.
Okay. Well, let's start with an augury then.
Well, let's do that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, let's start with the augury. Just that way we can find out whether it's close.
I don't know, that's the good results, bad results. That's also a course of action, it says.
So augury is yes or no questions?
Well, it's yes or no, but it's more like it's weal or woe. So maybe it's not quite the right one for this either.
Oh, yeah.
Commune is 3 yes or no questions.
Let's see, so it's action and then we get a rhyme. Okay, so action, event.
We're asking about the best place to cast locate object and try to locate the staff is probably the best plan so far.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so we do like that plan. Another thing that just crossed my mind, can you kind of use divination to learn the nature about something? Because we don't understand how the scepter does what the scepter does. Because, if it can cast while they're completely hidden, it's going to be very hard to find. But if it's the scepter has to be pointed at or have access to free air, because what we think it's affecting is the wind, right? The weather systems, it's affecting the wind. So we could ask questions that would help us learn about the scepter, and if it does need to be exposed to the outdoors to do its thing, right?
Yeah, we did do some research on the relics of Altoria at one point. So maybe once we have located the general vicinity, we talk to Conan and ask if he knows any further details about it. Because I think we need to use the spell to find it rather than to know about it, because it's no use knowing about it if we don't know where it is. The most important thing is, do we know where it is? If we do, then let's see if we can learn more about it.
Right, okay, so we're hoping for the perfect divination into a best guess locate object.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
We still haven't figured out how we're going to phrase the question.
Yeah.
Well, you can leave that to someone casting it.
Yeah.
If you want to find out how the thing works, Legend Lore might be your best bet, but that's another 5th level spell, and I think you're running out of high-level casters who can do these things for you.
Okay, well, we can pay if need be.
And the king did just give us a bunch of money, so I don't think that's a problem.
Yeah. My assumption is that the staff does have to be very close to wherever it's affecting the weather, but let's take this route to find out for sure.
Yeah, based on the power level that we know about the crown, I feel like that's probably the case if it's on par. So yeah, so we'll find a caster who can cast divination. We want to know where we can cast locate object within the next 7 days. That'll give us the best chance of locating the Scepter of Altoria. The end. Period. Exclamation point.
He goes off and discusses it with some of the other higher level guild members. He says that it appears the best time and place to cast this spell will be at the East Gate just after noon today. So apparently something around noon is happening at the East Gate, or will be happening.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait, whoa. Does that give us hints as to when the orc army's going to attack?
Well, the orcs are coming from the south. The bay is to the west. And he just said the east. So are they attacking the city from every cardinal direction?
I think they might be, yeah.
Well, we've got 3 of 4 Tafe, you might want to
Let's
heed this.
let's follow the breadcrumbs here and
Yeah.
decide that, we're probably getting attacked on all four sides. So we tell Tafe, this is bad. You're probably going to have to split your forces between all four outer walls.
Yes.
In the meantime, can we please have this caster come with us to the east wall? Because isn't it already almost noon?
It's getting kind of close.
Okay.
Yeah, we grab a caster.
Guys, I hate to say this, but I think we're going to have to skip lunch.
Yeah.
No.
We grab the caster and we run to the east wall as fast as we can.
What about 11Zs?
No, not even 11Cs. Or second breakfast.
We'll eat them on the run. Yeah, let's head to the east gate with our caster in tow.
This is huge, you guys.
Yep.
This
We
is
learned something.
exciting. I don't know what's going to happen.
You arrive at the Onyx Gate.
I feel like we finally have an edge on the cult for once.
I don't know about an edge. We were like one step behind them, basically.
No, like the first time in the campaign that we're not many steps behind.
That we're going on the offensive against them, you mean?
Yeah, true.
That we're not just being pursued or attacked by them.
Right, we're not flying blind. We're not protecting the crown. Let's go.
All right, you arrive at the Onyx Gate. You're standing atop the wall looking around. You don't see anything unusual on the horizon. You don't see any signs of more armies or anything.
Oh no, it's an army of invisible skeletons, just as I feared.
You're watching and waiting, and just as the sun reaches its zenith, the weather starts to take a rather sudden turn.
Oh man, so it can do immediate shifts. What's happening? Guys!
The wind begins to pick up, and ominous clouds coalesce above you. You do still see nothing obvious as far as staff locations, but within a few minutes, the sky is completely overcast. Then a crack of thunder pierces the noise of the wind, and is swiftly followed by hailstones pelting the ground.
Oof, quick, cast the spell! Cast the spell!
As we were going through listing all the things that it could possibly do, I was going to say hailstones. And I was like, let's not give the DM any ideas.
Yeah.
So, there we go.
How big are these hailstones? Are these like hail boulders?
Now, at the moment, they're maybe like an inch or less, so
Pretty small, but still.
Still, ouch.
fairly small, enough that it hurts if it hits you in the head.
Yeah, for sure.
I get under Tokas' shield. I crouch underneath.
Do you just like pick me up and like use me as an umbrella, like
yeah.
a metal umbrella?
Yep.
All right, so you tell him to cast, and your cleric companion casts the spell, and he says, "It's up there," and he points to the sky.
What?
What?
Oh no, they have a rider.
As he points, another flash of lightning draws your attention, and you see something out of the ancient stories. A ship soaring through the sky, dancing among the clouds.
What?
Are you joking?
Sky ships.
Oh my goodness, an airship.
Oh, they do exist.
They have an
cult
airship.
has them.
Oh my gosh.
We need to get on that ship, guys.
The prevailing winds weren't bringing in ships at sea. They were bringing in ships in
of the
air.
sky.
How do we...
Oh my god.
We have a teleport spell. Teleport us onto that ship.
What? We do?
Yes.
He's a high-level caster. Can you get us onto the ship?
We were going to teleport all the way across the world to the lake. We can teleport onto that ship.
Doesn't that only use teleportation circles?
Aren't there higher-level forms of Dimension Door that could take us there?
Yeah, they're called teleport.
Yeah, I considered taking Dimension Door as my 4th level spell. Now I should have done it.
Ah, man.
Dang it.
But I mean, all the psychic lances,
Yeah, but we have a high-level guild caster with us.
You have a cleric with you who's already cast his strongest spell.
Quick, let's run back to the guild hall. Find another caster.
We have to get our cleric recharged or, like, refunded. Like,
Yeah.
we'll turn in this cleric.
Plug
Yeah,
the
and we'd
cleric into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, throw him over your shoulder like you did with the guard you kidnapped. We should have brought an arcane caster, too. Darn it.
How high up is the airship?
It's flying just below the clouds, although the clouds seem especially low. It's kind of hard to get an exact distance.
I've not wanted to have a battle in this campaign as much as I want to go up there and have an airship battle right now. I want to go up there with a teleport spell and have an airship battle. Can we please go up there with a teleport spell and have an airship battle? Please. Let's get back to the guild hall now.
It would be so cool. I mean, if there's any role that we're supposed to play in this battle, I think this is it, right?
It's gotta be.
Like,
Fly is not a very high-level spell. It's a third-level transmutation spell.
Sick. All right, we're running back to the guildhall, by the way.
we're already there, Thane.
It is going to take you a few minutes to get back there, no matter how fast you run.
Well, it's the best we can do. We don't have a caster with us that can get us on there.
Yeah, a cleric's not going to be able to cast Fly. It's sorcerer, warlock, wizard.
Dang it, why didn't we have the foresight to bring a caster of each kind?
I don't have third-level spells yet, guys. I'm sorry. I'm mostly a fighter.
If only we had someone in the party who was like a dedicated wizard, you know?
Yeah, right?
Tokas looks down at his ring of jump and then looks up at the airship.
Thinks real hard.
So as you make your way down from the wall and run through the town, the storm continues to intensify, and lightning bolts begin to strike inside the town, spreading fire and chaos everywhere.
Oh, crap. Man, Thane said that the ship was like 600 or 700 feet up. If only we had a reduce spell, we could pull an Ant-Man. You could just ride on my arrow and then jump the rest of the way up onto the ship, Tokas.
That would be so cool. I was about to ask how low the ship was flying, because I was thinking I'll just like leap to the top of one of the tallest buildings, like, whatever that is, and then from that try to jump.
Yeah.
That'd be so epic.
Wait a minute, guys. Remember how I switched out one of my spells?
Yeah?
I know rope trick.
That'll get you like 20 feet, I think.
Yep.
Well, it's the full length of the rope.
Length of rope that's up to 60 feet tall.
Yeah.
All right, Guildhall.
Your passage is getting a little bit more crowded as people run out of the buildings to try to douse the fires that are springing up everywhere. And you see the townspeople joining with the already exhausted guards, the few that aren't posted on the walls already, trying to put out everything. You're keeping your eye on the ship, but it's kind of zigzagging and just going all over the sky to different parts of the city. It's traveling much faster than you're able to run.
We're really outgunned. There's a huge horde of orcs and a magical flying death ship of weather destruction.
Yep.
Yeah, we need to get up on that ship.
I wish we'd given the Wand of Web to Hallenheim after all. I didn't realize this was going to happen, like, so sudden.
Well, we may need it yet.
Yeah, true.
You arrive back at the hall, and pretty much as soon as you're pushing open the doors to get inside, you hear the warning bell ringing out from the south.
All right. It's on.
The siege has begun.
As you're scrambling around shouting for a mage to come and help you, the chaos of the storm begins to settle down somewhat. The lightning bolts stop, the hail stops, and the ship begins to fly off towards the east once again.
What?
All right.
It is moving faster than a fly spell would be able to get you there.
So we need teleport.
So it's not leaving the city, it's just...
It's flying back toward the east gate.
Okay.
Well, it's been kind of circling around the whole place, and then it turns and makes the line back for the gate.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. We need a mage.
Who can teleport us?
Can someone cast teleport?
So, Dimension Door is 500-foot range.
That's not going to do it. We need teleport.
Probably not enough.
We need the teleport spell. We need one casting of the teleport spell to get up onto that ship. It's the only thing that's going to do it.
7th level spell.
Oof.
Teleport he would roll on a table, guys, for, like, a precarious teleport like this.
Mm-hmm. Say what?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Depending on their familiarity.
Your familiarity with the destination determines whether you arrive there safely. The DM rolls a D100, consults the following table.
Yeah, so you'd have about a 25% chance of arriving on the ship, and 75% chance of probably arriving like in the air nearby or something and falling.
And then falling to our death.
Can someone cast fly on us first and then teleport us?
That's a very good point. That would be super effective.
Potentially.
So we'd need an upcasted fly to give the party flight, or at least the three of us. We might not be able to bring Stripey. Sorry, Shabba. And then we would need a teleport spell. Does the guild have the resources?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think even just the teleportation spell itself, it's probably not one that they would just have prepared all the time.
Well, I think we could pull this off just with flight and Dimension Door. Like, we ask for flight, we gain flight, we take the mage with us that's going to cast Dimension Door, and then we fly towards the ship, and then have him Dimension Door us to make up the speed differential. Like 500 feet's not nothing. That could catch up how far behind we are. We need a mage that could cast Dimension Door that's willing to fly with us.
Okay, so you're shouting out your needs, trying to find any mages who are willing to help you out. Although actually, you told Tafe to have his men along the ocean border and along the east wall and such. And so a lot of his powerful adventurers would be in those positions right now.
So then why did we even need to come back if there were other mages at the east wall where we were?
That's true.
You headed straight for the east wall, so maybe they're not there yet. It's not like they're military, they're not drilled the same way the soldiers are, so they're not responding immediately. I don't think there's going to be anyone around who could teleport you. There'd probably be someone who would be willing to cast Fly, but I think that's the best you're going to get here.
That's fine. Whatever we have to do.
Yeah, you find a wizard who's high enough level and has it memorized. So he's able to cast Fly on you, and that will last for 10 minutes.
Yep.
Okay.
So once we're on that ship, it's win or die trying.
Yeah, it's all or nothing.
We have to win that fight. Whatever we're facing, whoever's up there, we have to win.
Well, gird your loins, boys. Time to take a trip.
And think of a happy thought. Any happy little thought.
Yep.
You step outside, and the mage, he's one that you've seen around before, probably one of Elindria's companions or something. Says, I'm not exactly sure what you need this for, but I understand that this is something urgent.
I grab him, I put my hands on both of his cheeks and I say, we're about to save this city. And then I give him a huge kiss right on the lips. We're about to get out of here. Let's do this. Beam us up, Scotty.
This might be a good time for Stripey to chug the magic potion we made for him.
Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a great time for that. This is the perfect time.
What potion did you make for him?
We made for him a hill giant strength potion that has
dust.
the 10% chance. Yeah, 10% chance to be permanent.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Forgot about that.
Think this is the time.
All right, Stripers. Knock one back for us.
Who's going to roll the D10?
Who wants to?
I think it's only
Tokas.
fair that...
Jay, would you do the honors? You are Stripey's handler.
But you made the potion, though.
But I insist.
You insist?
You were the one who hemmed and hawed over which potion to make for like half an episode. So I think you should be the one.
I did, but I want to give the honor to Stripey's master.
Handler. Yeah.
Stripey has no master.
Yeah, don't let Stripey hear you call me his master. He won't be happy with that. All right, should I roll a D10? Just 10% chance?
Sure. Call out the number in advance what you want to go for.
Yeah, I think you have to get a critical, yeah.
All right, what number should I go, guys? I have 10 possible numbers that I could go, and could roll one of them.
20.
No. It's got to be 0 through 9 are the possible choices.
Oh, I thought it was the other D10. 2.
2?
Lucky number 2.
Lucky number 2?
I'm pretty sure you have to roll a 10 for it to do what we want.
No, it's a 10% chance,
choose.
so we can choose any 10% we want.
Okay, well then lucky number 7.
7? Or should it be 2? Should it be 2 or 7?
7.
7? All right, it's going to be 7, guys. I'm going to roll a 7 here. Ready? Here we go.
3, my lord.
So Stripey has Hill Giant Strength because he's drank the potion, and now we're seeing if it lasts forever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1 die roll. 7. It's a 4.
Ah, man.
That's okay,
All
but
right.
it's doubled. The duration for the potion is doubled a normal Hill Giant Strength potion, right?
Ah, cool.
Sweet. So what's his actual strength now?
Oh, he's super strong. He's going to Hulk out.
Because I did just boost his strength to 16 normally.
I think this sets his strength to 19, does it not?
Sets it to 21.
Oh, spicy.
He's got a higher strength than me now.
So what is that?
It's a
plus 5. Okay. Nice. Sweet.
For 2 hours.
Awesome.
Nice.
So he's now dealing 2d4 plus 8.
And plus 2 to hit on top of what he had.
Yeah.
It was most likely to fail, but it was the cool factor of rolling for such a powerful permanent potential.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a fine use of the fairy dust.
For sure. All right, Stripey, you ready to fly? You guys ready? You got your flight suits on?
Yep. I'm set.
All right. Let's do this.
We're going to be like a bunch of regular Peter Pans up there.
That's right.
Prepare for liftoff.
Think of all the joy you'll find when you leave the world behind.
Fly me to the moon.
Having finally satisfied himself that he spat out all of Shabba's spit off of his lips, The wizard goes ahead and casts the fly spell on the four of you, and you feel a lightness like you've never felt before.
Yes!
We rocket off like Iron Man from the ground.
Thrusters engage.
Remaining as aerodynamic as possible. And we arc across the sky like beings of pure light.
We form the flying V.
Can we do a flying V when there's 4 of us?
Totes.
Yeah.
Stripey will be the nose.
Ducks do it all the time.
Yeah, you just have one extra person on one side.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess that works.
So we do that.
Or extra badger.
Yeah, we have one extra badger on the side. I'll have one extra badger on this side, please.
I'm really enjoying the picture of Stripey just arms out flying. With like maybe his tongue hanging outside.
Yeah, like a dog hanging out the window.
I think the sight of the 4 of us flying at all is hilarious.
It's great. Soaring through the sky.
Did you ever imagine it could be this wonderful?
With like hailstones flying past us and lightning cracking in the
Oh
background.
yeah, we're dodging the hailstones and the bolts of lightning.
Right. Oh,
I wish we could have learned how to fly under different conditions.
right. Let's just say that the storm hasn't subsided, just for the epicness of it.
Just for the fan art possibilities.
Well, it's dying down, but it's still happening.
Oh, nice.
Okay, good.
Nice.
I mean, we have to go after the ship, right? They could just keep doing more and more passes on the city.
Oh, yeah.
Beeline.
We're going straight for the ship.
Do not stop. Do not collect $200.
We fly right through the hull of the ship, so it sinks.
Now, flying rules, we can dash, right?
Yes, so you can go 120 feet per round.
Oh, yeah.
Top speed.
Which means we can also fight like Peter Pan. Just FYI.
Wait a second. Shoot, if they don't know that we're flying to the ship, then they won't know, like, if they're just going to keep circling. Azlo, do you have more invisibility?
I do. It's a new day. I haven't cast any spells yet today.
We might want to be invisible, because if they don't know where we're coming from, they won't know to fly away from us, and they might have a faster move speed.
That's true. Let's get the drop on them.
That is a fair point. Yeah, we are in the Flying V.
Although, I can only cast max a 4th level spell, which can only get 3 of us. I can only hit 3 targets with invisibility.
Well, the flying badger will be a distraction. We'll break formation.
That's perfect.
You can tell Stripey to circle around.
Yeah, they'll suspect us, but they definitely won't suspect a flying badger. They'll be as inconspicuous as they come. They'll just pretend to be a bird. Just flap his wings like a bird would.
We should have made up a bird costume for him. Dang
I
it.
know. Oh, we could have.
So much better.
It would have been so easy to do.
Would have taken seconds.
We just find a goose somewhere and just skin it and have him wear the goose.
As you fly by.
Just stuff Stripey inside a goose.
Into the goose, yeah.
All right, so I think invisibility is worth it. What do you guys think?
Have some little, like, animatronic controllers for the wings for him to flap them.
Yeah, so right after takeoff, I grab the 2 of them, cast invisibility, and, well, I don't tell Stripey, I tell Shabba to tell Stripey to go around the other direction, and if possible, we can look at the pattern that they've been circling and try to go the opposite direction of the circle, so that we're more likely to go straight toward them rather than be trailing them.
Yeah, to meet their path.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, you're trailing them for a little bit. It actually looks like they're not going to be continuing their circle. They flew into the city, they did kind of a wide arc around it, and weren't flying in an exact pattern, but they zigzagged a little bit, and then it looks like they're heading back where they came from, wherever that was.
To the east.
Yeah, back to the east somewhere.
Do we get any read on how fast it's flying compared to us?
It's actually probably pretty comparable if you're doing your full double movement.
But how many feet in general? I mean, do we need the spyglass? Are they that far away from us? We need like the haste spell or something here, guys. We need to like increase our movement speed.
Yeah, I mean, do we get there or do we not get there?
Well, you seem to be catching up.
We would need like long strider, and I don't know it anymore.
I don't think that stacks either.
Well, I thought adding to your movement speed increases flight.
Well, I don't know. It's irrelevant if you don't know it.
Okay.
So you're slowly catching up to it. It is moving pretty quickly, but you're also moving very fast. However, as you're getting your hopes up that you might catch it, you see 2 more ships flying back in the opposite direction towards you.
What?
They've got a whole fleet of airships.
Okay, so do we go after the ship that has the scepter, or
Absolutely.
do we want
That's
to...
the only
hold on.
ship that matters.
Or do we want to go after the ships that are headed for the city?
The scepter, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the other ships might, well, I don't know, they might start attacking it. Like, they might have cannons or stuff that they can drop onto the city or whatever.
Which one of the party members is best equipped to give those ships trouble? It's me, right? Maybe I should stay?
How
I
so?
don't think we should split the party.
No.
Definitely not.
We got to go all for the same target.
We don't have to. There's one among us that's always with us with just a short summoning spell away. You could 6 Stripey on one of those ships, and then if we need him, you could resummon him.
It's not a short summoning spell. It's a ritual.
Yeah, but if we need him, we can have him with us.
But it's not a
No.
short summoning spell.
It's not like one action, you just bring him to you. It's like like an hour or something?
I mean, part of me was thinking, like, when we weren't gaining on the ship, part of me was thinking we might even want to swing around and attack the orcs from the air, which would be pretty effective. I mean, if we lose the city, that's also a game loss. I mean, I get getting the scepter matters, but I feel like we could split our resources here to not lose the siege on the city and also give chase to the scepter.
I don't think so. I think we go after the ship that has the scepter on it. We take control of that ship. We get the scepter, and then we use it against them. That's always been the plan. There's no reason why that should change now.
Those types of items take attunement.
Whether it's the scepter or the ship, we use one of them or both of them, whichever one we can, against them. If we have a ship, it's much better than if the scepter gets away and we're battling one of 2 ships where the other ship is going to do damage anyway.
Yeah, and even if the scepter does take attunement, we can stop them using it either way, so...
I'd rather have a ship and a scepter than maybe one ship of 2 that are doing the damage and the scepter gets away.
That's true. Yeah, getting the scepter is also like the long-term plan as well.
Tokas has something in his kit that would allow me to catch back up to you guys. I think taking on one of these other ships could be helpful.
I still think splitting the parties is a terrible idea.
Well, yeah, we can use the ship that we take to then engage the other ships.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, what's harder to do? To take over an entire ship and stop it from doing damage, or to fly a ship into another ship?
That sounds awesome. But so, like, okay, so that ship's flying away. We're in a hidden flying V, and there's 2 other ships. What direction are the other 2 ships coming from? Same direction as the other ship?
Yes. You're already most of the way back to the gate at this point, and these 2 ships are about to pass over the gate towards you from the east.
How far are we from the first ship currently?
Probably still about 300 feet away, so you're halfway up to it.
I'm just trying to think, like, how much longer is it going to take? Like, was their plan to mess with the weather and then fly away and then let these other 2 ships come in and cause the havoc?
Well, they set fire to the city with those lightning bolts.
Yeah, these 2 ships are squirrels. They're a distraction. The goal was to get the scepter. That's what we need to do. That's going to be the best long-term play to cripple the cult.
Yeah.
I think these 2 other ships are... So that one ship was clearly the caster or whoever's using the scepter. I think these other 2 ships are transport ships, and they're dropping off the kids at the pool.
Yeah. Do we know how the ships fly? Are they magically... Like, are these big balloons on the top, or do they have sails? Like, they're, like, magically held aloft?
So the hull looks like a normal sailing ship, but then branching out to the sides, instead of where you might see like oars on that type of ship, it has these giant wings that kind of allow it to fly and glide and flap a little bit. And then above the ship, it has ropes that are holding on like a blimp-type balloon. So it's this combination of everything.
Oh, so, okay, I'm with you. Shabba, I'm down. We're going to keep flying, and I think that we might be exchanging the city and or the crown for the scepter, but that actually might be right. You know, in the game of chess, sometimes you have to give up pieces that you wouldn't think that you would want to give up in order to gain something.
Sometimes you have to lose the king in order to get...
This might be, we might be exchanging like a bishop for a queen.
The king. Yeah, exactly.
In this case it might be the king, but that might not be game over because the scepter's really strong and like the crown's really good for planning and leading, but it's not as combat focused.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get the scepter and, like, I don't know how long it takes to attune to it, but if we can call down lightning storms upon the orc army. I mean, come on.
Seems pretty good.
No, it's really, really sweet. I'm down. I'm fearful that the king gets assassinated. We lose the city. We get the scepter.
I don't think with an army of 5,000 orcs, I don't think 2 airships are going to be that influential in turning the tide within, however long.
It's what's on the airships, Shabba.
No, that's what I'm saying. Whatever is on the airships, their loadout, whatever it may be.
Legions of geared cultists.
Yeah, no, again, I don't think with an army of orcs that's that large, 2 airships is going to, immediately make the city fall. We can at most board one of them if we do it together and have a chance of fighting, and then if there's legions of troops on it, we die, right? So what's better, dying to legions of troops or getting the scepter and having a ship?
I think it's a high roll. I'm weighing the options.
Right.
And by the way, we're still flying towards the ship. I'm just weighing the options.
Yeah.
Tokas is just calculating and talking with Shabba. So yeah, I'm down. Let's get the scepter.
We're like, so I see your point, but the other thing is... it's like wind is blasting past our faces. I hear where you're coming from. Totally, yeah, I see that.
But yeah, totally. Even if it means losing the battle, if we win the war, then it'll be worth it. Let's go get that scepter, boys.
Let's do this.